So I think INFPs generally give up on things a lot that really they enjoy. I think a lot of that is just, again, it's, it deals with a lot of our function stack and this and that, but there's a lot of times that, I've gone through life and I've just struggled because it's just like, I feel that, for a lot of types that society is wrapped around and preferred, which in my opinion, INFPs do not fit as a preferred part of Western society kind of person. It doesn't mean we can't fit in this and that, but I just think how it's set up, it's predominantly set up for other types that aren't like-minded as us. So when we go out that door to the world, and as we have to generally, unless you're hiding in the basement somewhere, we do have to process a lot of stuff that can quickly, you get a job, you get a family, it can quickly get overwhelming. And then deter us from the things that we actually have found joy in doing. And generally that's going to be something creative. It doesn't necessarily mean have to be creative, but it could be like a counseling thing or some kind of, helping people, things like that. A lot of stuff that's not generally monetary. It's not going to be, something that's generally going to be in the spotlight. A lot of stuff, like for me, definitely I prefer to work behind the scenes. I don't want to be the guy in the spotlight right now, like on video. I enjoy this. This is something I've come to grow and to enjoy, but I had to face my fear to get over all that because society and this and that, and even YouTube, it's not really... you can have definitely a creative outlet to it, but there's definitely a system in place that, people need to kind of condense to a point. You don't have full free control. But there, there's a lot of people that I see commonly in the comment section. They just have no idea, what they want to do, what makes them happy. For me, I've just spent a lot of my life, just putting years behind me that were purposefully vested in figuring out what makes me happy, what doesn't make me happy. Why does all these things that, society, not everything, but the majority of the popular opinions of big houses and boats and, more money, more promotions, more prestige, more levels of whatever, that is what's going to get you that happiness. So, with me, it's like just, again, putting in that work, not pushing it away and not thinking about it, not processing it. But again, it's those things that I've come through all my life. And I think everyone has these, but it's a matter of if you're actually going to not dismiss it. And because again, it's something that's hard or difficult for you, or it doesn't prefer, there's things that you got to put yourself out there, be vulnerable. I think there's a lot of that to where I've had that over my whole life. And like I said, like YouTube is one of the longest creative outlet ventures, especially social media. That blows my mind that I'm still doing it. I found something that's social media related. It's funny to me, but you guys know that I've kind of fell off the wagon a little bit the last few months, couple months, whatever. I'm trying to dabble here and there, but I don't have that rhythm that I had. And every time I would get into a video mode, I call it, it brings me a lot of joy. I like to, there's so many aspects about it, and just being creative and letting my mind go crazy, and just, the videos take shape. When I do a video, whatever happens afterwards when I'm post editing and things like that, things come shape. I feel alive. I feel like I'm doing something. And it's the process of doing something that really makes us humans, no matter what type you are, makes you feel alive. And so when I'm not doing anything and I'm just kind of fit in the cog of the system, when I get wrapped up in society and, my work and my family and, all that stuff that comes along with it, it tends to take my mind away from that thing that I enjoy. Because again, I haven't made any money off YouTube. I haven't done anything like that. I do have bills, common bills that a lot of people will have, that I need to cater to or whatever, pay them. But it's just So it would be nice to use, if you're in a creative aspect or your work is creative, inspired, where you actually can literally just genuinely tell yourself, this is a job that it really fits you. That's great. That's awesome. But for me, there's a lot of creative suppression in the roles I've had. So I have to go outward. I have to get creative. I have to outwardly express myself in a creative way. I have to. When I'm not doing it, I fall in this deeper pit. Something's missing. I don't know. It's like I have no idea what's wrong with me. I'm trying to be happy, but I can't. I always come to find when those little things that we have in our mind, and going back to what I was trying to finish saying without jumping off other paths, it's like, don't pull out, buddy. Okay, good job. But what was I saying? So, I think we're all handed stuff in life at periodical table, or I don't know, that doesn't, but there's things that comes our way, and again, it depends on how much you get yourself out into the world and go experience things, because if you don't, and you really do stay away from going out that front door, because you're just so social anxiety, I've been there, I promise you. This is years and years, massive years in the making of massive social resistance and this and that. But when we do that, we miss out on those little things that randomly come up, whereas we think like,
oh, if we go out, it's just gonna be all bad, because it's just, society doesn't accept me, they all think I'm weird, I don't fit in, no one's like me,
this and this and this and whatever else we're gonna tell ourselves to keep us away from stuff. But the more I've gotten older and the more I'm kind of, okay, when I go out, I'm going to get beat up a little bit. It's going to come with the territory. I'm never going to generally be accepted by this day and age's Western society. I can fit in. I can mold to the crowd. I can do this. People like me. I think people don't like me. It doesn't matter. But there's things that I've come to know that, like, I've put in so much time working so hard to work on those social fears and the scariness and the things that have always held me back. And the more and more I go out there and just be like, you know what, this is probably gonna suck. But there's things that I get. I get rewards. The NE starts going on fire. I get more things to show myself what I like and what I don't like. And there's a lot of things that I come to where I stumble upon that, hey, this is something I actually enjoy doing. I never would have thought in a million years, but it's something that I enjoy doing. And I see that a lot in the comments where people just, I have no idea. But like I know for me, that's how it is. There's a lot of things that have come by my way that I don't necessarily always entertain it all, but there's opportunities that, hey, that's pretty cool. But then life scoops me up and I go concentrate on this and I gotta, pay my bills. I gotta focus on this and this and this. But for me to say that I have no idea or little things that have made me happy in life, that's not the case. I've had a lot of things that come by my way. I don't pursue them. I don't follow back up with them. I don't always do it. So with YouTube, that's what I mean. That's part of where this rant is coming from. It's just the need to where I found that, over so many years of never really holding on to something this long and this and that, I've found that YouTube is a place for me to creatively express. I get happiness when I'm doing it. When I'm not doing it, I get deeper and deeper and deeper. I sink in the couch. I'm like, oh, my life sucks, this and this, blah, blah, blah. But then right when I jump back in it, I'm like, oh, I feel alive again. But it's keeping that going. And that's the whole thing. It's like I get overwhelmed. I'm going to get overwhelmed again on YouTube, social media. It's just so much socializing and, interaction to really maintain a channel that, again, I'm just one person trying to engage with a lot of people. And for an INFP generally that doesn't really talk to many people on a daily basis, it can get overwhelming. So again, my little violin with my little, my little cheese wine or whatever, whatever. It's part of my thing. It's what I took on. I'm hosting a channel. That's my responsibility. What I put into it, whatever. But that's the whole thing. It's like I get overwhelmed. I burn out because there's so much life's hitting me. All my real life, my job, personal issues, things like that creep up. And then, I think back and hey, YouTube's falling away from me. And that's where, the live stream I did Sunday or whatever it was, 2 days ago, that was a forceful measure for me to really just be like, dude, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be making this video right now. I would have probably not made a video for another couple weeks because my mind just keeps, hey, Sean, just take some more time off, take some more, but really, I don't really need any more time off. It's just, I fell out of the repetition and the drive for it, and my brain starts taking me away and starts getting creative with holding me away.
Oh, you need to concentrate on this.
But like, work and things like that aren't really what bring me joy. That's something that I need to do just to pay the bills. But more and more, my brain will focus me that way because it's like,
hey, this is what society says you need to do. You need to focus on this. Let your little creative games go away. Let your little art crafts and all your little crazy mind, let it go away.
So it's like that little voice in my head or on my shoulder, the little guy with the little devil horns or whatever.
Don't listen to that guy. He's trying to lead you down the path of righteousness. I'm gonna lead you down the path that rocks.
I'll come off it.
You come off it.
You.
It's just, it takes me away, and I just don't like, you gotta kind of just, you gotta step up. I think all of us have, it takes an extreme amount of energy sometimes, I mean, to do that, to really get yourself off the couch and just like do that thing. But like, I know that if I actually exert that force, and it might not be ideal at that moment in time, whatever, but as long as I get back in to where my enjoyment comes from in life, whether how small that is, you don't have to make money on it. You don't have to, it's just something that you know that when you're doing it, and we all do, a lot of you guys you don't get joy from making YouTube videos. I get that. That's just my thing. All of us are different. We all have our things. We all experience things in life that bring us opportunities that can open up our creative side. So even though you might not agree to my creative venture, and I don't necessarily, I wouldn't think that I would do your creative venture, it doesn't matter. It's that whole outlet that we find for ourselves. And I think it's just important to revisit that. If it's something you let go of 5-10 years ago, but you can remember, like I used to draw a lot when I was young. I don't draw a whole lot that much anymore, but I know when I was young growing up, I drew a lot. I like to draw. So now that I've found YouTube, that's filling that creative aspect where I'd rather focus on the video making than actually drawing or whatever. So it doesn't mean you can't have like multiple outlets. But for me, my focus is, making videos, and that's the creative thing that pulls me out. But I think for all of us, when we don't do those things, because that's how it is for me. If I don't do it, it's not good. I really just beat myself up, and the more it slips away, and the more months and things that go by and this and that, I feel like, well, you know what, you can't ever do it again. So you kind of got to force yourself, like really force yourself when you don't want to do it and you're scared and there's one thing holding you back.
Well, I don't want someone to judge it. I don't want, if I draw this painting and I put it out there on Instagram or whatever, and then I don't want to.
But like, you got to just take those risks, and like, you got to get to the point where you can just like let that stuff slide, or else you're just going to slip far away, and then you're going to end up in the system of all this stuff that you're just doing, but it's not really those little enjoyment doings that you we like to minimize, because it's like, oh, it's just, it's just YouTube, it's just a video, whatever, it's not anything big, but like, in the end, that's what makes me happy. Again, like I said, I'm not making money off it, I'm not doing anything like that, but I get a lot of joy from doing it. So, I don't know if that's all helpful. This was just a driving rant where I just felt like I had to get out and talk about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I always like to hear other people's insights, if there's anything that helps. And again, a lot of these comments aren't just for me, it's for the rest of the viewers, that how we like to read comments and this and that. But anyway, I appreciate it, and I will let you guys go, and have a good day. See you later.